have 3 days to get the Comanche ready to go to Easter Jeep Safari this year. But there's only one problem, and that problem is a pretty big one. Let's pull into the shop. I forgot to tell you guys I blew up the transmission. So you guys are probably wondering what happened to the Comanche. Why does it probably have a blown up transmission? So back in October when I was actually working on this and putting a lift on, putting 4-wheel drive in it and everything, there was a family camping trip. And I didn't film it because it was with my family, but I brought the Comanche. I thought it would do fine and everything, but it started acting up a little bit and I didn't think much of it. We went out riding all morning and I parked it, came in, ate a sandwich, got back in it, started it, and it didn't move. So here's what I think happened. I think one of the shift solenoids, or all of them, went bad. So it was stuck in like 3rd gear or overdrive, and it was really straining on everything. I just didn't catch the signs early enough and it went out. So everything was like seemingly fine, came back, checked it, and like didn't find a lot wrong. It just wouldn't move anymore. But we need to get it back on the road because I like it and it doesn't deserve to just sit. I got it on the lift, we'll put it up and start looking at some things. Okay, so I'm just gonna start by removing drive lines. I'll pull the front and rear drive line and then we can get a better look at things. Man, somebody did a good job with those. Time is ticking. Do you feel the pressure yet? Because I feel it. I should not be doing that. This should be in 4-wheel drive right now. So look at this. So right here is the front driveline output shaft and it's just clicking. So when I spin this front one, the back one should also spin. But the fact that it's not is concerning to me. Maybe it's not a bad transmission after all. Maybe it's in the transfer case. That would be an easier fix because I got an MP231 out there. I've got a slip yoke eliminator kit for it. Should be good. I'm gonna get this rear drive line pulled off and then we'll play with it a little more and see what the problem is. That would be awesome if it was that easy of an issue. All right, I just put it into 4 high. That does not sound good. We'll get this transfer case pulled out, have a look at it before we decide to pull the whole transmission. That's really weird. If it is broken, it feels like it's only the front, so technically it still should have had 2-wheel drive, unless there's something more going on in there. We'll see. All right, before I get stupid, I'm just gonna drain all this fluid out. Yeah, there we go. That explains a lot. Empty? That probably explains everything. Where did it all go? Okay, let's slide it out. Okay. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. It was really weird because I was driving around like normal, I parked it, came back to drive it, and it didn't even move. Probably because it was out of fluid. Yeah, I'm gonna get this torn apart real quick, and I'll show you the carnage. There's actually a hole. See that? That goes down into the case. Right down in there. Ooh, some carnage for sure. That's probably where all the fluid went. Look at that. It just couldn't be put in 4-wheel drive because the shift oh my gosh. The only thing that's really not making sense to me is how I was driving and then it just stopped driving. That's the weird part. I don't even know if this is the problem. I mean, obviously this is a problem, but my dad can confirm. I drove into camp, parked it, never moved again. Yep, that's what happened. This is the shift fork, and this is what selects it into 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, or neutral, or 4-low even. And it just like broke off. Like, I don't know why it broke off. It just did. And then because it fell off, it just wreaked havoc inside the case. It busted a hole inside. That's probably where all my fluid leaked out of until it accidentally popped its way into neutral. And that's where the problem is now.
Also known as it's broken.
It's broken. It's broken. So it turns out the transmission wasn't bad, I guess. So I was wrong. Had all the symptoms of being bad though. I would have never guessed the transfer case. But because of what I saw, I'm going to assume that the transmission is good still. I do have a spare transmission. I'd rather not swap it in. It's going to be easier. We could probably get it done today if we just do the transfer case. So the transfer case in that Jeep won't work. Transfer case in that Jeep is gone. The transfer case in that Jeep back there is being used. The transfer case in that Grand Cherokee is what's out of this thing right here. Oh, actually the transfer case out of the Jeep clear back there is in the Rubicon right now. Ooh, transfer case in your Jeep.
Don't touch it.
Okay, fine.
Don't touch it.
So red Jeep off limits. I wonder where we will find another transfer case. Bam! Right there.
You know what that is? It's another stinking project. Another project.
So you may notice this is another Cherokee, but it's actually not. It just shares almost every single part with the Cherokee. But it is a Wagoneer Limited. It's a 1987 Wagoneer. Some of the key features to make note of are the dual stacked headlights as well as the special grille. There's a couple interior pieces that are a little different as well. But yeah, ultimately it's pretty, I want to say it's a pretty rare Jeep. I don't actually know the like production number of them, but a lot of people don't like them because of the double stacked headlights. And a lot of people do like them because of the double stacked headlights. That's why I like it. So I got this for 500 bucks. I am planning on putting it back on the road, but I need the transfer case and or transmission out of it to put in the Comanche so that we can get there on time. Let's get into it, I guess.
Turn these on the back. Ew.
Yummy. This is the motor mount, the rear. And I'm gonna need a rag now.
You can take my lucky rag.
Your lucky rag?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
I don't know if I want it. I have a new idea. Do you want to get me the smaller everything of this? 9/16.
Alright. Trip number 210 to and from inside the shop out to Rudy. It's going great.
The short one. This is gonna slide off and break my arm. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. They glued this together. There definitely should have been blood dripping out of there. There should be no way in heck there's this much fluid in here. That's why I had to glue it. Do you want to go get the drip pan?
Yeah, that's that black thing, right?
Yeah. And more rags. I don't even know what that is. Why does it look like tomato juice? Why is there tomato juice in here? There should be no fluid. I'm gonna taste it. I don't know what that is. It doesn't taste like any fluid I've ever had before from an engine. It doesn't taste like anything. It tastes like water. It does not look like water though. Why is there so much of it? I have so many questions. Okay, here it comes. Oh, it's just pouring out of the back of the transmission. All right. She's a beaut, Clark. I'm Micro, and this is Dirty Jobs. Sorry, Micro, no disrespect. So we finally got it out with a whole bunch of mystery fluid. You don't even want to see the inside of the Jeep. It's full of stuff. But time to bring it into the shop and put it in the Comanche and see how she does. I don't want to kid it on me. Go. So what I'm doing right now is putting this crappy transfer case back together just so I can contain the parts in case somebody needs a part, or if I need a part in the future, it can kind of stay clean. So I'll just throw everything kind of back together on it. Just gonna do a preliminary scrape off and look at all the gunk on it. Just make sure there's nothing wrong. Holy cow, come look at this. Look at all that black silicone. That came off of the threads. This explains why those bolts were so hard to get off. So I think this got like a rebuild on it not too long ago. So we got the transfer case kind of cleaned up and everything, just went over it to make sure we weren't putting in junk again. Everything seems to be okay with this one. Shifted it through the gears. They all feel good. It is full of fluid right now, so we might want to drain that before we get going. But yeah, I'm ready to put this thing back up in there. Oh, that feels way better. That's how it should feel. Okay. I'm just gonna put 3 on right now, and then we're gonna lower this thing, and I'm gonna run it through the gears and see if the transmission's good.
Smart. It's gonna suck if it's not, if it's bad.
Well, tomorrow will be figured out then. So we pretty much have the bare minimum hooked up, simply so we can see if the transmission works, because if you remember, we don't know. We know the transfer case was screwed up. That should be a 2-wheel drive right now. We'll be able to tell. Okay. Now look under there. Is that front output shaft spinning? A really good sign. All this time it was just a transfer case. This thing's loud, huh? Like a tractor. Okay, now we can put everything back together and go for a test ride. You know, the test ride that we never got to do before because I screwed up and blew it up. So we're going for a ride, and it's going pretty good, actually. We're just gonna go down to the gas station, get a drink, and be on our way back. It's dark now, so no cool rollers. Feel the horses. Yeah.
Driving pretty smooth.
It actually is.
Is full throttle?
Yeah. This is not right. that's a problem. It's too late tonight though to fix it. We got to get all the other stuff ready for Easter Jeep Safari, and I don't know why this is doing that. This is kind of why I thought the transmission was going bad, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like a transmission issue anymore. When it warms up, it gets kind of funny, and idle's normal, but it like pops out the intake and stuff. So I don't know. I guess this is why no one likes the Renix Jeeps. Ugh. What do you think, Higgy? That's how I feel. So I'm gonna try to do a couple things. We'll see if any of it works. Alrighty, so you can see, oh yeah, that's a flat tire. We're gonna ignore that though. But you can see that the Comanche's not on the trailer. The Comanche's also not behind us. But that's because we could not get it running properly. So yeah, we're on the way to Moab, and unfortunately the Comanche was having issues running, and I couldn't fix it. So obviously I'm not back at the shop, and that's because I was at the shop preparing to leave until 3 a.m. So I literally had no time left to get it working. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I tried everything. It's just nothing. It's running super rough. Super weird. Let me list off everything I've replaced. So I've replaced the throttle position sensor, the crank position sensor, the map sensor, the idle air control valve, all the injectors, all the wiring, checked the continuity, freshened up all the grounds, was having zero resistance in any of the wiring. Wasn't a heat related issue, changed the coolant temperature sensor, everything I could think of. I replaced the computer, the ECU. Well, that wasn't bad, that wasn't the problem. There's no clock spring in the steering wheel. I found that out after I took the steering wheel off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Andy, who is back at the shop, show you what the Comanche's doing. Okay, Andy, do your thing. So even though we didn't get the Comanche to Easter Jeep Safari this year, I'm still at kind of a loss for words or feelings for why it doesn't run, because I've done everything that I know to do. So anyway,
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.